Hey guys, well, I'm kind of surprised that I did this with the setup you're seeing here. So we're going to watch the run first, and then I'll show you the setup that I'm running. And we're going to go through the full thing first, like I've done in the past. Haven't done these for a while now, I've just been super busy, and thought I'd show you this one. So that's my Ghost you see there. And here I am driving it in a little bit deeper, and honestly, I'm still making some mistakes. Like in other runs, I was 0.4 seconds ahead right at this point. But I cleaned up my run later on. You don't need to be on the brakes very much with this car. It's amazing how deep you can drive it. With the setup I've got, I'm driving it about as deep as I would, almost as deep as the McLaren MP4X. Not quite as much. That's an absolute monster, but pretty deep. Like, that's about how far you can take it. So we're going to watch on the left-hand side here. I want you to notice how slowly I'm going across the track. And that's on purpose. I've been noticing that some of these... Woo, that was close to the walls. Oh my goodness. It's different when you're watching this on a replay. When you're racing it, I knew I was close, but gosh, that was freakishly close. We're going to go through this a second time with braking points, acceleration points, but sometimes I think it's beneficial just to see the whole thing in a fluid motion, because the starts and the stops can really interfere with the fluid motion here. And pay attention to what isn't off track. See, all this isn't off track. If it was, I'd be getting penalties, right? Right. So, if you really want to get a good time at Le Mans, you've got to learn where off track is according to this game, not according to real life, this game. So watch the next corner. Watch how far I go over to the left. I'm going to get my left side tires right into the sand, which, if you don't know, you'd think this is way off track. Actually, that was dangerously close to off track, but it's not. And if you're not going to optimize the track, then just forget about getting a good time. So that's the way it is. Now, again here, you're going to notice that I'm staying pretty far to the right, and I'm doing slow, purposeful movements. So I don't want to do fast movements, because even a little loss of traction, you're going to lose time. So I'm just going to set up my braking point here, braking a little earlier than I would in the MP4X, and on the gas nice and early there. I braked a little bit deeper than I should have, and you can see that I lost about 0.3, but then I take this corner better, and I start gaining it back again. I took that corner super wide. It let me get into the throttle earlier. Now this section here, honestly, I think I could be pushing this harder. I might not have to brake at all for this next braking point, but I'm just playing it safe because I totally lost it here last time I got this far. But you know, look at that. I didn't optimize the drive off, so obviously I could have been in the gas more. Same with this section here. I don't think I had to brake as much as I did, even though I was barely braking. And then I'm driving this in really deep. Almost as deep as I would the MP4X, which is surprising. This is the tricky chicane. So this part I get really nicely. Here I could have done better. So I gave up. Oh yeah, and I got a little bit loose there. Probably gave up 0.2 right there. Okay, but there we go. And you're going to see that this takes me decently into Group B, which is surprising because a lot of other people have heavy gold upgrades on this car, or heavy gold tuning. So yeah, that's not great, but look what I did it with. So I've got my tuning's maxed out. Okay, so there we go, maxed out tuning. Zip through this. Driver level, same that I started with, just driver level 1. I haven't done anything there. And only to principal level, which is what I had to have to earn this car. Now, go through the braking points. Pay attention to my Ghost, okay? Because look how much I gain just by changing my trajectory into the first corner. Watch the Ghost on the left, and you're going to notice I just start, because of my trajectory. And then I'm on the brakes here. You want to be able to get back into the gas at this point. And I didn't get it perfect, but pretty good. Then we're staying to the far left, over to the far right, 2 tires off track a little bit. And it could have been on the gas a little sooner than I was, but that's cutting it really close as it is. Nice. Definitely full throttle through this. So that last braking point was really critical, because you're full throttle for a long time. And staying to the far right, now slowly driving over to the left. I'm purposely doing this nice and slow, and then I'm watching those distance markers on my left. I'm kind of going with the third one, but it looks like I was a little bit later than I anticipated being. So right around there is my stop point, and you can see here, dangerously close to the walls. And that's because you got to be willing to lose it all sometimes to really get a great time. Now, on the left-hand side, there's going to be a couple of big green banners. And that's kind of what I usually watch. The second green banner is my braking point, depending on the car, but not on this one. It's a little ways after. Second distance marker after that green banner, right on the left there. You can see it. Again, really optimizing the where track limits actually are. And the way you learn that, guys, trial and error. Like, yeah, you can learn a lot by watching guys like me, but eventually you got to push it for yourself. You got to push it until you lose it and then back up. Now I'm going with the last shaded section before the slight dog leg. So right there, that's when I'm on the brakes, and then very far over to the left, cutting that nicely. By cutting, I don't mean going off track. I just mean when I started my turn there, I'm kind of cutting over across that curb. And that corner, that's a menacing corner for me. I've often ended up in the sand there. It drives me crazy. But I've become a lot more comfortable on that corner as of late. And then again here, I don't have a great visual for the braking point. I'm just going like about 2 or 3 car lengths before the slight dog leg there, which I mean the slight turn. Into the throttle as early as possible, as you can see, very early. Watch on your right as the wall ends. I'm braking a little bit past that. Of course, there's a second wall ending, but that's not the one I mean. And go way over, as if you're going to hit the wall, and then you just don't. Now, on the left, there's going to be some distance markers and some... I more so go by the shaded sections on the track. I'm going to kind of go with the second shaded section, which is pretty normal for me in LMP1 cars. So second shaded, a little bit deeper. Very slight braking point. Not even sure if I needed it. You could probably do a slight lift point. I'd encourage you to experiment with just lifting. Same with here. Probably a slight lift point is all that's needed. You can see I was barely on the brakes at all. And then a little heavier braking point here for the first braking point. Watch on the right when the curve starts. I'm on the brakes just a pinch before. Pretty well right at it. Yep. And then on the gas a little bit. And I should have a better trajectory here. You need to be further to the left than I was. Look at that. Full car length over to the left would have been better. And there you go, guys. That's how I did it with, I didn't think it was possible. I thought I was going to be Group D. A little bit of work and I'm Group B, and so can you be Group B. Ha ha ha. Well, there you go, guys. Check out the update video. Rolls out soon. Like, subscribe. See you later.